Mindset is key. I don't care what anyone says. What's up guys, before we start the video I just want to remind you to like and comment on the video. If you want more content like this, subscribe and hit the bell notifications. I also do running content, general vlogs, and I have a debunk series where I debunk popular myths. Also check out my Instagram, the link is in the description. Follow me on that, I post almost every day. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Today I just want to talk about mindset and how it can affect how you view things and how you can kind of train your mindset to achieve more in life. So it's occurred to me recently that my mindset is obviously very, very different than a lot of other people, because I'll just give you a bit of backstory on it. I'm going back to college in about 2.5 months, and I need to save up as much money over the summer as I can because I can't get any student grants this year, because I got them the last time I was in college, and obviously I dropped out, so I have to stay in college for a year before I can get them again. So as jobs open back up, I've had the job that I make the most money on for this would be my 4th week that I'm back working in it, and as of today my second job has opened back up. So they're going to be having an evening shift on a Wednesday, half shift on a Saturday morning, and then 2 half shifts on a Sunday, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So if I was to work all of them, that would essentially mean that I'd be working 8 shifts a week. 9 shifts a week if you take the 2 on a Sunday. So I said this to a few of my friends, like I could end up working now between like 60 and 70 hours a week, and plus with training and YouTube videos and all that on top of it, that's probably gonna come out to about 100 hours work a week. So I was obviously I could be in more ideal situations, but you know, it is what it is. So I said this to a few of my friends, and a lot of them were like, what are you doing that for? Like, fuck that, I wouldn't be bothered at all. But like, even though like I have to do it because I need to save as much as I can for college to make it as easy for me as I can. So I was just like, look, I have to do it. It's 2.5 months. If I have to work every day out of the 2.5 months, so be it. I'll schedule training on YouTube and all that around it, and use up as much time as I can. There's 2.5 months, no free time, big deal. But it just occurred to me when they were all just saying like, oh no, I couldn't do that. Why would you be bothered and all that. It occurred to me then that my mindset was obviously very, very different than the majority of them, and I'll just say that they account for like the majority of people. That's just kind of a rough guess, but now you might be thinking like how I've kind of acquired this kind of mindset. Well, it has a lot to do with some of the people in my life. Like, for example, my dad, obviously I wouldn't be the biggest fan of my dad. I don't live with him or anything, but I've seen him work very big hours, kind of all my life. Worked very hard worker. I was kind of brought up around that kind of person. People that I've worked with, a lot of them have also been very hard workers, so that kind of rubbed off on me as well. Particularly in my second job that's only after opening up today. Like in the past, I've kind of taken I've taken a few pages out of a lot of their books, because the two lads who own it, one of the lads in particular and one of the other workers, are ridiculously hard workers and absolute perfectionists. So I've learned a lot from them, and kind of their work ethic is kind of rubbed off on me. Plus, I with running as well. Running is a sport that you're either in it or you're not. You can't kind of, if you want to get to a good level, you can't just kind of, be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Yeah, you have to be all in, and I kind of have that kind of mindset as well. Like, it has to be done if you want to get to where you want to be. You can't take any shortcuts or anything like that. So all that's kind of come together to give me the mindset that I have today, of just work for what you want. You're not gonna get there if you don't put in what's needed. Plus, another thing is, I'm a very goal oriented person. I have a very goal oriented mindset. I like to have a goal that I'm working towards, and I have a lot of goals, running wise, business wise. Obviously business wise is years down the line, but I've already started making plans for it in the last since I was, I'd say, about 17. So I have those goals that I'm kind of always thinking about, always working on. So that's as it comes to working on your own mindset, that's one very, very helpful thing to have. Kind of think about what you want in life, whether that be short term or long term. If you have a goal in mind, it makes things a lot easier to kind of you have a reason, you know why you're working towards it. So that'd be the biggest tip. As well as that kind of obsession is a lot to do it as well. I get easily, if I like something a lot, I get easily hung up on it. Like the course that I'm going to college now, I kind of study that stuff by myself in my own time anyway. So I kind of have that obsession to keep on learning in that kind of area. And now YouTube as well, I'll just say it now, I want to grow and become a proper social media influencer, and I want to have an effect on people's lives, and be able to preach positive messages and spread positivity and all that kind of stuff. So I've gotten quite obsessed with YouTube and Instagram and all that, and constantly trying to think about how I can grow in the long term. And as it goes for running, I haven't told many people about this other than my close friends, but I'm training towards European under-23s next year and World Amateur CSIT games as well. Haven't really told many people about that because fucking doubters and haters and all that kind of crap. But speaking of which, actually, wanting to prove the doubters and the haters wrong, that's another big motivation. That more kind of comes into people like me who aren't afraid to do something different. like obviously doing YouTube, getting posting almost every day on Instagram, all that, you're obviously going to get a lot of hate, and a lot of people are going to doubt you and make fun of you and all that, and that's kind of an obstacle that you have to overcome as well, if you're going into that kind of thing, and if you're going to do anything different in life, there's going to be people who are going to doubt you and say you should just stop and all that. But the way I see it, like I kind of gave up on caring about what people think of me a long time ago, because if you're getting offended by the things people are saying, it's obviously going to hold you back mindset wise. That's another big part of mindset, is how you perceive what people think of you as well, and how you treat and your attitude to other people, and obviously being self-aware as well, being aware of your strengths and weaknesses and all that kind of stuff, and wanting to improve in yourself. But that's off topic. Yeah, the way I see getting offended by what people think and say to you, saying you are literally getting offended by the sounds coming out of someone's mouth, or the combination of letters that someone's typing on a screen, or someone's thoughts. That's the way I think of it. It's not going to physically harm you, and it can't mentally or emotionally have an effect on you either, if you don't let it. Problem is, I don't want to say that we live in a snowflake society, but we kind of do. But like, being able to not let things affect you, and being able to let things go, is, you will be mentally and emotionally free once you reach that point, because you won't be affected by other people, other than obviously the people that matter, but the people that matter won't negatively affect you. So a great way to work on that is literally just keep telling yourself every day, my opinion and my thoughts of me are the only opinions and thoughts that matter. Because once you get it into your head, it will start ingraining itself into your mindset and lifestyle. So that's kind of how I got it into my head, and I've been way happier ever since. It's just it's such a happiness and freedom knowing that you're not going to be affected by someone else. Now, another key thing that I touched on, that I mentioned but I haven't elaborated on, how you see and perceive other people, how you treat other people, and your self-awareness. What's your strengths and weaknesses? Knowing your strengths and weaknesses is vital, because you need to know your strengths so you can keep developing on them and use them to your advantage. But you also need to know your weaknesses so you know what you can improve on and what you're not as good at, and that's where other people come into it. If you have something that you're not as good at, think about what connections you have or what people can help you, and ask them for help. If they're a good person worth having in your life, they'll have no problem helping you, and that's just fact. So basically, it all weaves into weeding out negativity in your life, weeding out the negative people, the negative opinions and thoughts of you, because they make no difference, other than your own thoughts and opinions. Another thing is, find the good in everything. There's always a positive in something, so try find the positives in every situation. So let's say, for example, I might have a bad training session, but it might be after a hard day's work. I take into consideration and I say, okay, wasn't the best session, but look at this split, and this split. I did them on tired legs, and I kind of try find the positives from that. And if I can't find any positives, I say, look, I got it done. That's the main thing. I didn't just sit down and leave it. I got it done, and that's a positive in itself. So bringing everything together, the mindset of having of doing what you need to do to get where you need to be, that takes time to build up. But if you can kind of keep telling yourself every day, it'll eventually weed itself into your mind and your lifestyle and your mindset. Second off, people's opinions and thoughts. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Take in the positive opinions and thoughts and your own opinions and thoughts. That's all that matters. All the negativity, just throw to one side. Doesn't matter, won't affect you unless you let it affect you. Thirdly, know your strengths and weaknesses. Fourth, people around you, perceive them in the right way and keep the right people in your life. And what was the fifth thing I said? I don't know, my short-term memory is gone, but I would have just talked about it about 2 minutes ago, so you get the gist. So that would be all my advice. You just have to keep on kind of telling yourself and try and work your way to engrave it into your mind every day. Not every day, but every day if you can, but as often as you can. You just have to keep ingraining positives into your life, and eventually you will end up with a good, strong mindset. And yeah, there was a lot of talking in this. If you're still here, I really, really appreciate it. I hope this talk helped, and I hope I had some sort of positive effect on you today. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. Like, subscribe, comment, check out my Instagram, it's in the description. And yeah, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. See you in the next one.